UFC 321 just recently wrapped up, and I'm going to recap the entire card with a bit of a disappointment. The championship main event heavyweight title ends in a no contest after a pretty good first round. Nasty eye poke from Ciryl Gane, and it's wraps. We're going to talk about everything, the crowning of the new women's strawweight queen, and, the whole damn card. So keep it locked in. Let's jump into fight number one. The ladies went after it early, and it was a massive upset. Starting this card off was a big upset. Last week was all crazy upsets. Here's one. Mizuki outworks, outdogs, outfights Jacqueline Amorim. With the layoff, I'm shocked. I mean, it's not so much I'm shocked that Mizuki was able to make it close and competitive and find a way to win, but coming off of 3 fights, in 6+ years, 2 years off straight, I think this is the best Mizuki ever looked. She is pretty solid. Like, I'm thinking about the women's top 15, and Amorim was definitely a player right around that number 15 mark. And for Mizuki to shut down the grappling, to have striking success, to make her uncomfortable, to melt her with shots, force her to pull guard, honestly kind of just embarrass her out there. Mizuki Inoue, she's one to keep an eye on. Now, of course, if you know of her resume, losses to like Lemos, Dern, she's fought some of the best women in the game. Outside of the UFC, she was in Invicta. She fought for the belt there against Jandiroba and ultimately lost. Looking at it now, I mean, one of those performances where she fights a girl who's, top 15-ish, right? Jacqueline Amorim. I don't think she officially had the number next to her name, but she's damn close to the number 15. I think up next is definitely a proper number 15 fight. Direction you go down is interesting. Is it wild to say her versus like Denise Gomes could potentially be like an Angela Hill? I don't think anything is far-fetched. What I'll say, though, Jacqueline Amorim showed that she still has those same flaws. Wilts under pressure. If she can't run through you and bully you, she doesn't have comeback ability. She doesn't have that ability to really dig deep and find ways to change, right? The game plan is what it is. And if it doesn't work, expect her to lose fights forthcoming. Stand-up is stiff. Very arm-heavy punching. I got to say, Mizuki Inoue, she looked good. Off a layoff, very few girls come back looking better than ever with a long layoff like that. She's definitely doing things right. And I like the idea of Mizuki mixing it up with some of these women inside of the top 15. I'm curious to see how a fight would go between, her and Denise Gomes, or, potentially her versus Angela Hill, something along those lines. Makes sense for, a next matchup. Angela Hill's supposed to fight Fatima Klein, actually. She's scheduled for that one, but could be the winner of those two face off against one another. That's something I'm down for. Great win as an underdog. Mizuki Inoue plus 360. Looked like minus 360. Next fight, Azat Maksum, Mitch Raposo. Another big dog. Back-to-back underdogs in the first 2 fights. And not like close money dogs. No, minus 550 Azat Maksum sells. And he's getting cut from the UFC. I am sending him out right now. I send the text, bro. Get him out. Get him out. You're missing weight by a substantial amount. I'm throwing down the pillow. I'm getting so intense. 129. Gets outdogged. What did he do in this fight? It was trash. Grabs the cage. Right? Trash. Azat Maksum, disgrace. He came into the UFC beating Tyson Nam, who was a sensational striker in a close fight. Lost to Charles Johnson in a competitive fight. Lost to Ciryl in a decent fight. Mitch Raposo was able to just land bigger shots, outwork him. He got out-wrestled, but all Maksum did was wrestle and hold. This card was a card for fighters that look to do damage. That's what I love about this card. It was truly about the fight, not about the positional holding, right? If you're not looking to advance position, dominate, or do damage, we ain't scoring it for you. Maksum hit some takedowns, but he was losing the striking exchanges. Raposo was catching him with big looping overhand shots and nice left hooks throughout the fight. Maksum's straight punches were okay. I said during the stream, I think he has to go to the body a bit, but he's a headhunter. And, Mitch Raposo gets a UFC win. 1-2 in the UFC. Loses on Contender. Loses on Ultimate Fighter. Do you understand this was the 5th attempt to finally get it? Mitch Raposo been doing it for a bit now. He's still a young guy in his mid-20s. I was happy for him. His post-fight reaction was nice. You can tell this is a dream come to reality. And taking out an Azat Maksum, who coming into this fight 15-2, Minus 550 favorite. Gave Tagir a good fight last time. Mitch Raposo demands respect. 27 years of age, young savage. Now, of course, the flyweight division has a lot of killers. Mitch Raposo, you know, he beat a mediocre, but a guy that knows how to fight. I kind of love the idea, though, of Mitch Raposo versus Lucas Rocha next. That jumps out to me. Him and Lucas Rocha is a cool fight. Lucas Rocha, also young, 25, shoot their box guy, good striking. Both guys on the shorter side. Mitch Raposo might actually come into that fight with a little height reach advantage. 5'3", Rocha. Shorter reach for Rocha. I like the idea of the UFC setting that up. I think that's actually a really smart matchup to make. So Mitch Raposo versus Rocha, some point 2026 early. For Azat Maksum, bro, he's got to go back to the, you know, whatever scene. He was at Octagon, send him out. He's lost 3 straight fights and he missed weight. He's got no success coming at bantamweight. Azat Maksum is one of the bigger busts. As far as guys with hype coming in, I mean, bro, when Azat Maksum signed with the UFC, we're talking about a guy that was undefeated. Understand, 14-0. Like, you thought Maksum was on a trek to be a problem, and seeing what the results have been has been nothing short of incredibly disappointing. Great win for Mitch Raposo. Next fight, Hamdi Abdelwahab, Chris Barnett. Weird one. Hamdi Abdelwahab started out this fight with wrestling dominance and beat Chris Barnett up, hits him with an illegal elbow. Balls on Chris Barnett because he could have bailed. He wanted to keep fighting, and it didn't really change. Hamdi was taking him down, backing him up, catching him with big punches, beating him up with ground and pound. He dominated the fight. He got a point deducted in round number 1, did Hamdi, but, you know, not the end of the world. Not the end of the world, man. It was a bad, you know, back of the head strike that I think warranted a point deduction because it was, the full elbow that can crack a skull. But it was more of the same. He was more conscientious of where he was throwing after that. And Hamdi Abdelwahab gets back on the winning track. And I would say, like, this is probably the best win. Yeah, this is the only real clean win in his UFC career, right? The Pogues one was competitive and even controversial. The Mays one was competitive and even controversial. Now it's a no contest. This was like his first clear UFC win where he definitely at the end of it deserved it. And it was a lopsided decision. And he did some good damage with ground and pound. And he mixed in the takedowns nicely. Hamdi Abdelwahab looked decent. Looked decent. I'm thinking about, where does he really rank amongst the heavyweight division? It's like he's more towards the back end. I mean, Mo Usman still teed him up in a recent fight. I don't think they should be jumping the level for Hamdi all that much. I feel like the heavyweight division is fucking shallow, but Hamdi Abdelwahab after this one, Kennedy and Zetchiku maybe, but that's a bad fight, bro. Kennedy's striking is a problem. Heavyweight is thin. It's quick fights in, and then you're moving up very fast, right? Could be Hamdi Abdelwahab versus like a Johanata Janiz next. That's not a terrible idea. Janiz, you know, striking based. He should have the wrestling edge there. But coming off the loss to Mo Usman in the fight before, like, it's hard for me to feel that Hamdi can beat a guy of that caliber. For Chris Barnett, I hope that he can have some, you know, more fun money-making fights. Get him in like Fight Circus or something like that. He's probably cut from the UFC. I would like to see Chris Barnett fighting Karate Combat or game-bred boxing. Something like that. I just think his body's giving out. His knees hurting him. You know, he keeps getting injured in fights. He got injured here. He's grimacing all the time. Striking only fights for him. I think there's a lot of wear and tear on the body for the years of, you know, training. I feel like switching over to one of the more, you know, strange combat sports, spectacle combat sports like game-bred boxing or Karate Combat or even BKFC, but I don't know if that's necessarily a likelihood because, you know, BKFC, I could see him getting tuned up. But at least Karate Combat, game-bred boxing for Chris Barnett. You can make a little extra cash, man. So, yeah, Chris Barnett took an L. Hamdi looked good. Nathaniel Wood, Jose Delgado, absolute banger here. Fight starts off with Delgado dropping Nathaniel Wood with a spinning back fist, busting him up, beating him up, and nearly getting a first-round knockout. Nathaniel Wood is one of the toughest human beings on the planet because he survived serious damage. Most guys would not have fought their way up. There was moments on the ground where it looked like Nathaniel Wood was done as he was getting some ground and pound put on him. Not only does he get up, survive, he gets up, survives, drops Delgado in that same round, in round number 1. Momentum shifts towards him. Competitive striking exchanges in round 2. Able to land some good shots on Delgado. Delgado slowing a bit. Not slowing a lot, but slowing a bit. Competitive round 3. Secures, a couple takedowns in the mix to steal the fight his way. Nathaniel Wood catching Delgado with some decent punches and kicks. Delgado still firing some big shots back. Both guys having moments. Nathaniel Wood throughout the whole fight, though, winning the battle of real estate. Backing Delgado up and pressing on him. And it paid dividends at the end. He got 29-28 across the board. I scored at 29-28. I thought he got the second and third. I also picked Nathaniel Wood after the weigh-ins. I was like, it seems like it's Nathaniel Wood's time. And it ended up being Nathaniel Wood's time. Delgado is a great prospect. But Nathaniel Wood, he's still got it. He's 32. I didn't think he didn't have it. But it's like to take out somebody that right now is, the premier prospect in the featherweight division, right? He's a guy, came from Contender Series last year, 2 first-round KOs, and seems to have the goods, especially the frame and the style, to make waves in this UFC featherweight division. Now takes a loss, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I know you might be saying, what? It's terrible to take a loss. No, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think it's better that he took a loss. I think Delgado winning this fight would have kind of fucked him in the long run because he'd have to fight some of the elites of the division. He'd be forced up to the top 15, or at least very close to the top 15. Now, take a step back, catch some W's against, lesser competition, maybe like Nate Landwehr versus Jose Delgado, continue to build him up as a prospect. I don't think it's a bad thing that he took an L. It's really where I'm going with this. Now, for Nathaniel Wood, I wonder if the timelines could work out for a fight between him and the likes of Doo Ho Choi. Doo Ho Choi obviously was supposed to fight Willie Cat, pulled out of that fight. So I don't know timeline of return, but I'd be interested to see Nathaniel Wood and Doo Ho Choi face off against one another. I also don't think it's crazy if, Cub Swanson doesn't want to call it a career. Nathaniel Wood and him could be a sick fight. There's definitely a lot of potential violence on the table when I look at this UFC featherweight division, and I look at Nathaniel Wood, and I'm like, he matches up well. Like him versus Patricio Pitbull, even as crazy as that sounds, I like that fight as well. Nathaniel Wood's a good top 25 guy. Really hard to beat, consistent performer, good everywhere, and he proved that against a really skillful guy in Jose Delgado. Congrats to Nathaniel Wood's win. I was happy to see it. Volter Walker does it again. Heel hook over Louis Sutherland, minute 24 seconds. Sutherland did swing a big right hand at him and touch him, and then Volter Walker takes him down. Works a bit from top, throwing some shots. Bang, bang, bang. Heel hook. They can't stop it. Volter Walker is the fucking man. That's it. Volter Walker is the man. I love that he goes and he calls out Humpty Dumpty for take out Peppa Pig. He's fucking shitting on him for taking out Chris Barnett. He said, brown Peppa Pig is crazy. I like to call out a Humpty for him. I feel like him versus Humpty Dumpty is interesting. I feel like he destroys him. But it's a complete mismatch. That's why I didn't mention it for Humpty, because I feel like Volter Walker's levels above that. He's 15-1. He's on the title track, but he's calling for an easy fight. I think because Volter Walker has the mentality of building the record. The thing is, he's in the top 15. If he wasn't ranked, I would say, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. But like Hamdi, it's a step down. But I guess he fought Louis Sutherland here. It's not like he got a win against an elite guy. The heavyweight division is thin. Maybe he gets, I want the Egyptian guy. Give me, guy beat brown Peppa Pig. I like that shit. I like the call out. Just because of the call out, I think he runs through him. He doubts the wrestling of Hamdi. I think he has a right to. He would absolutely fucking maul Hamdi. I don't even think that's a competitive fight at all. Hamdi's wrestling is one thing, but like Volter Walker's MMA wrestling is a different beast. And heavyweight at 27. Does he really need to fight Derek Lewis? Right? Does he really need to fight Shamil Gaziev? Really need to fight Marcin Tybura? There's so much time for him to develop, man. He's a young heavyweight that could actually make waves. I kind of think just let him marinate. He is the hope of the heavyweight division. We need somebody. Obviously, the heavyweight division has, the championship fight, which we'll talk about soon. But this is the hope of the heavyweight division for the future. Like, it's good to have a guy that's good at talking shit. Volter Walker's becoming a star like his brother, but I think he's better. I was impressed, man. Louis Sutherland, the slap job Sutherland. I'm telling you, though, he would have fucked up Tafa. It's just, he's not going to beat Volter Walker. I thought this was a mistake to take this fight anyways. I feel like if you're the UFC, you're looking at Louis Sutherland and you're like, do we do him versus maybe Buchecha, if we want to keep Buchecha around? Louis Sutherland versus Austin Lane. You know, it's just fights like that. I think he's a good back-end heavyweight. I hope that he has some slobber knockers coming, but a skillful guy with championship potential tapped out in a minute, 20 seconds. Ľudovít Klein, Mateusz Rębecki, fantastic fight. Ľudovít Klein's striking was off the chain. First 2 rounds, Ľudovít Klein looked to be as good as I've ever seen. I would say probably better than I've ever seen. He looked world-class. Championship material, maybe? No, not really. I'm reaching. Top 15 material, though. Ľudovít Klein's stand-up is elite. He was finding good straight shots on Rębecki. He had him rocked on a numerous amount of occasions. And it looked as though maybe Ľudovít was going to knock Rębecki out throughout the first and second round. So precise, fighting off the takedowns well. Round number 3, ends up breaking his ankle as Rębecki hits a trip on him against the cage, because we're wondering why Ľudovít is kind of just shelling up on the ground and not trying to work up to his feet. It's because the ankle was done for. He didn't even stand up to get the decision read. And Rębecki was doing some damage from top, though. Still, Ľudovít Klein from bottom ripped him with some elbows. Ľudovít Klein was nasty in this fight. Ľudovít Klein had Rębecki leaking blood. Looked like a goddamn pool of blood. But round number 3, make no mistake, Mateusz Rębecki put it on an injured Ľudovít Klein, didn't stop him. And you look at it now, imagine Mateusz Rębecki would have realized, hey, stand up. Bro, the fight would have been stopped. Ľudovít couldn't have stood up. But I like that Ľudovít played it off. He didn't let him know his ankles hurt or anything like that. And Mateusz Rębecki stayed on top, hit him with some good shots, but obviously not enough to put Ľudovít away. Had him in the crucifix for moments, but Klein would fight out of it. And it was mostly just Rębecki locked in on top position to dominate round number 3. And then Ľudovít Klein puts himself now in good position for fun fights, but he's going to need like 7 months off after he breaks his ankle. You know, I'm assuming it's at least a 12-week recovery and then a proper get back in camp. Like, I don't expect to see him until, you know, maybe March, something along those lines. Because, you know, at the earliest March. But to be honest, it could be fucking May. We could see Ľudovít Klein back in May. But you know what? The stock rose here. He was on the stool getting the post-fight interview. That itself had some aura about it. Rębecki, always in fun fights. Every single time you watch Rębecki fight, you will have fun. And that's great. But can we take a fucking layoff? He fought, what, 12, 13 weeks ago? Then he took a shitload of damage here. Like, can we chill? Mateusz Rębecki needs a 6-month break from fighting. And when he comes back, he needs to fight somebody like a Matt Frivola. He needs to fight somebody where there's a real chance he can put them away. And in another banger fight, even, you know, Mateusz Rębecki, I mean, shit, Drew Dober is coming off the win. To be fair with you, I kind of like Ľudovít Klein, Drew Dober. Ľudovít Klein, Drew Dober kind of goes hard. I think Drew Dober will get knocked the fuck out. But I like the idea of Ľudovít versus Drew. I don't know if they'll do it because, you know, they're kind of in different standing. Mateusz Rębecki, you know, around the top 30. Ľudovít Klein around the top 25. I do feel as though Matt Frivola versus Mateusz Rębecki at some point should happen. I think that's like a guaranteed fireworks fight. And I'm interested to see. I feel like he'd knock Frivola out, honestly. There's fun fights left for Rębecki. He'll be must-see TV until he gets cut. I don't know about him getting cut. I think he'd beat a Frivola, and I think he can get back on track with a fight like that. For Ľudovít Klein, a Drew Dober fight is cool. Also, a fight that I like a lot is Kawhi Fernandez. Problem is, with Ľudovít taking this serious injury, we don't know how long he's going to be off. Honestly, I was happy with the pick here. I thought Ľudovít decision made a lot of sense. Hurt Mateusz Rębecki a few times, but decision win comes to fruition. Massive W for Ľudovít. Ikram Aliskerov gets pushed to the distance by Jun Young Park. He dominated and won every round, 30-27, no doubt. But Ikram got caught with some nice right hands throughout the fight. He was showing some big signs of fatigue in come round number 3, and Park was trying to put it on him, but couldn't stop the takedown. The key difference maker in this fight was the takedown. Aliskerov hit takedowns throughout this fight at the perfect points, ended up in top position, and when he got there, He was dominant with positional control, a bit of ground and pound, obviously trying to get submissions, but it's hard to tap a Park. You take his back. It's not like Park is a guy that goes out easy. Young Park is a fucking pleasure to watch, per usual, always. Ikram Aliskerov, tell me now in the chat right now, or in the comments, I should say. Don't you feel like Ikram's like terrifying element of his attack lost a little magic? Like looking at Ikram pre-Muniz fight and then post-Muniz fight, you're like, this guy's scary. After the Park fight, I'm like, he's good. But how good? Does he beat Joe Pyfer? I don't think so. Does he beat RoboCop? I don't think so. Does he beat Jared Cannonier? Probably not. I kind of love the idea of Edmund Shabazian versus Ikram Aliskerov. Unless they do Shara Bullet versus Edmund, then I can see that getting replaced. But come on. You're telling me you don't love the idea of Ikram Aliskerov versus Edmund Shabazian, striker versus grappler. But I could see Shabazian having moments on the feet, big moments. And if Aliskerov is on point with the takedowns, yeah, he should fucking dominate. He should probably win by finish on the ground. But that's kind of like a tricky test for him. Because now if you move him into the top 15, I look at the top 15 and I just don't, does he beat a Vettori? I don't think so. Bruno Ferreira, Vettori winner, maybe that fight. Him and Vettori's interesting. I think that's close. I think, that's the level that he could maybe get to at best is this later stage Vettori. For Young Park, I love that he walks out to Rocky. He's fun to watch. He's always a guy you got to back with love and respect. The perfect fight for him is probably Dustin Stoltzfus. Both guys been on the roster for a while now. They haven't faced off against one another. Dustin Stoltzfus, he's been, a little bit on of a downward skid, to be fair, but against good names like Kelvin Gastelum, Rizzy Boyev's okay. And I feel like for Park, that fight kind of makes sense. I don't hate that at all. I kind of love that for Young Park. That's the right type of matchup for a Young Park. And I actually think could probably get Stoltzfus down, but Stoltzfus stand-up is legit. He brings a danger element to it. So we shall see, but those are the matchups that I'm thinking next. And then the feature prelim, Nasrat Haqparast, Quillian Salkilld. Salkilld stepping in on short notice. Way too much of a level jump for a third UFC fight. Not actually, no, because he landed a perfect head kick KO that flattened Nasrat Haqparast in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Like perfect technique, right high kick. Done. 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 It was fucking sensational. Salkilld, a knockout like that, he's calling for the top 15, and it's like hard to say no. He goes out there and flatlines a guy in Nasrat Haqparast who beat Esteban Ribovic. Say you want controversial or not, fucking split decision competitive fight against Esteban Ribovic, who's fucking beloved. Esteban Ribovic, who many think is the prospect, to mix it up eventually in the top 15, or at least one of the guys. Beat Jared Gordon in a not a Jared Gordon who got hit by a car. To knock him out in the way that he did was nothing short of spectacular. And Quillian Salkilld now is kind of putting himself on the map as like Australia's lightweight to keep an eye on. He called for the top 15. It's tough for me to give him a top 15 fight like Mauricio Hufi, but is it likely he gets that fight? I don't hate the matchup. I don't think it's a terrible idea. Coming off a sick win of Nasrat, it gets you close to top 15, but I don't know if it gets him in the top 15, Could he get a fight against Alexander Hernandez? Yeah. I think between Hernandez and I would probably say Mauricio Hufi, those are two options. But again, Hufi's in the UFC's blessed side. They might not be giving him that. Does he fight the winner of Grant Dawson and Manuel Torres? That could work. He get fucking pushed against Grant Dawson, though. Good grappler. Tested in the wrestling department. He's so young that he doesn't need to rush into the spot. But, like, if the man demands a top fight like that, he says, yo, that's what I want. How do I say no? That's my thought process. Like, he wants a big spot. Okay, I'll give it to you. I don't want to hold him back. If he thinks he's ready for it, and knocking out Nasrat Haqparast like that tells you you're fucking ready. 25 years old. Fuck it. Give Quillian Salkilld the spot. For Nasrat, holy shit. I thought he was dead. He should take some time off. A lot of time off. He should take off 6 months. He was violently knocked out that I was fearing for his life as he's laying lifeless on the goddamn canvas. That was crazy. 50K for sure. I think they definitely like give him 100K. Like fuck the 50K. 50K is not enough. Like 50K is not enough, man. Give this man $100,000 for that knockout. That was insane. Congrats, Quillian Salkilld. Sick. Absolutely sick. I thought Haqparast would be too much too soon. A lot of us did. Not true. Wow. Main card. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Rakić, Murzakanov. I feel great about this pick. I feel really great about this pick. I thought that Azat Murzakanov would find the chin of Rakić, and I thought it was live in the first round. I felt like his ability to punch and land accurate shots would get past Rakić, who at times is a little slow to bring his hands back to his face. And it was a stiff jab. It was like a wide jab. Rakić goes down. Rakić had shot a takedown earlier. Murzakanov scramble, got up. Rakić was throwing some kicks from the outside and going at it from range. Murzakanov just needed one shot, one kill shot, and it's over. Rakić knocked out in the first round. Nobody's done Rakić like this before. Understand that the way Azat Murzakanov just chin Rakić like that should send fear down the spines of the entire light heavyweight division. Holy shit. Looking at the light heavyweight division, give me more Murzakanov, please. This guy is 16-0 as a pro, and he's a knockout killer. He just took out a guy in Rakić who was ranked number 7. Jan Blachowicz, Gushkov winner. Very down for that. Jan Blachowicz and Gushkov fight in December, so timeline could work for next year. If there's any injuries at the top, if like Yuri Prochazka and Ulberg get booked and something falls through, I would be very down to honestly watch Murzakanov versus Prochazka. The reason I'm not going to say Roundtree is I think Roundtree's taking a little layoff. Coming off a bad loss to Yuri Prochazka. I think he needs some time. I'm down for Roundtree versus Murzakanov. Who wouldn't be? I think it would be a sick fight, but could be mistimed. And Reyes versus Roundtree next year might end up being what works out. Murzakanov's power is terrifying. Now, for Rakić taking this L, I got to be honest with you, I don't know where the hell he goes. It's hard to say because he hasn't beaten anybody that's active in the UFC. Biggest wins are Thiago Santos, Anthony Smith, and Jimmy Manuwa. None of the three are in the UFC anymore. Some of you guys might not even know who Jimmy Manuwa is unless you're more of an OG, because that was in 2019, and that's like his one big highlight reel in the UFC. You look at who he fought recently, yes, Ankalaev, Prochazka, Blachowicz, and Murzakanov, losing all these fights, gets knocked out in the first round here by Azat Murzakanov. I feel genuinely bad for Rakić because it's like, I don't know. He's sold as being so good, but it's not really. I don't feel like he is. You know, Nikita Krylov needs a fight. He'll need a fight. Maybe at some point they make those two face off against one another. But I don't know when Rakić is going to come back. So who the fuck really knows? Dustin Jacoby, maybe. Johnny Walker. But Johnny Walker's coming off a huge win over Mingyang Zhang, you know? Like Nikita Krylov and Rakić makes the most sense because they feel almost like the same person getting knocked out in the first round like that. So I think that's the one. For Murzakanov, though, Gushkov, Jan winner, or Yuri Prochazka are sick fights. I called the fucking win for Murzakanov, and I said to you guys after the weigh-ins, I saw how Rakić looked at this man, and I can recognize when somebody's overlooking somebody, literally, but figuratively. Like he's laughing. This little guy. Then he gets knocked out, and he was laughing after the fight, smiling like, oh, shit, this guy KO'd me. There was no respect on Murzakanov from him, and he paid the fucking price. Respect to Murzakanov. Stand up, Murzakanov witnesses. Let's go. Next fight, Alexander Volkov, the underdog lock of the card, beats Jailton Almeida. I get it, though. Y'all wanted the, Jailton Almeida side to get on the card. It's just crotch sniffing. Jailton Almeida's takedowns were impeccable, 7 out of 9. The guy was hitting almost every takedown. Volkov's takedown defense was shit in this fight. Not arguing. Volkov did more damage throughout the whole fight. Round number 1, hits a nice reversal, beats up Jailton Almeida from top position. Round number 2, Jailton able to control the grappling, stay on top for a vast majority of the round, getting stood up and then taking him down again in a snooze fest. Bro, all Jailton does is get on top and hold. He doesn't throw shots. He threw 33 strikes in the whole fight with 10 minutes, 47 seconds of fucking control time. Bro, I can throw 33 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're not punching. But if I'm on top, I can just pepper him. I don't give a fuck. Hit him with the little Hamzat peppers. Throw something. He doesn't throw shots. He holds. He gets on. He wants to take you back, and then he stays safe. It is horrible to watch. Horrible. Downright horrible to watch. Terrible to watch. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. And he deserved to lose. I was happy he lost. I picked Volkov, so obviously I was happy. He's a dog lock. Yes, I was happy. You can't just lay and pray and win. Volkov landed nice knees to the body early round 3, and that's the round that, the argument's going to be laid on. Yes, Almeida took him down. At least Volkov was trying from the bottom to throw some strikes. Almeida was just holding. Almeida just holding. Now, Volkov's takedown defense was god-awful. Horrible, I will actually say. Jailton's got great takedowns, but you got to do more than just take people down and hold them in guard, in half guard. He needs to, I don't know, change gyms. He needs to go reach out to, guys that throw ground and pound, some OG era guys. I don't know, mix it up, because he does not throw ground and pound. He holds the position. He is like jiu-jitsu with, wrestling threat and holding without punching. It was terrible to watch. This was a terrible fight. And I was, upset to see Almeida just be so willing to sit there and do fuck all. Horrible, 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 horrible. Volkov, good win, but my God, horrible as well. He ain't fighting for no title next. And I mean, there's a bigger reason why, but even if not for that, come on. Shit. I don't even want to talk about this fight anymore, but I was really happy Volkov got the win. I thought he was going to lose. When the scorecards are being read, obviously I picked him all week. I thought the striking would look a little better, but it's what it is. I was thinking, okay, they're going to give it 29-20 Almeida, but no, they're not rewarding the fucking grapple fuck. They're not rewarding the lay, the pray, the do nothing with it. They're not rewarding it. And you know what? I also have to say, honestly, Volkov deserved the controversial decision in his favor. They're like, yo, let's give it to him. The Gane fight is what it is. Now he gets this one. We call it even. Good win for Volkov. Good dog call for me. Next fight, Umar Nurmagomedov, Mario Bautista. Umar looked really good. Listen, Mario Bautista tries, though. Mario Bautista's on a legit win streak for a reason. Round number 1, Umar quick on the takedown. Umar threatening with the toe hold. Holy shit, we're back in 1990s. I got to tell you, Mario Bautista wants to win bad, and I love that about him. He's trying the toe hold. He's trying different things. But still, Umar's too good. Too good from top. Gets on top. Doesn't throw like crazy ground and pound, but positional dominance, switching to positions. Mario scrambling, but Umar winning the positional warfare and winning the scrambles. Round number 2, early in round 2, big knee to the head from Mario Bautista. It was like a high kick, but really just turned into a high knee. Hits the chin of Umar Nurmagomedov. He hits the canvas. So knockdown, definitely for Mario Bautista. But then Umar in on the wrestling, dominant throughout the round, landing some good punches, landing a bit of ground and pound, threatening with, control, the back takes and all. Umar Nurmagomedov did well. In round number 1, had the body triangle, back control. Round number 2, mixing the takedowns more. After getting dropped, recovers, does some damage of his own. Deserved round his way, albeit there was a massive moment for Mario. Not boxing, though. A knockdown, especially a flash knockdown, doesn't guarantee you a round win. Round number 3, more of the same. Umar all over him, bringing the pressure, winning the key striking exchanges, landing the key takedowns, body triangle on point, switching the legs nicely. Mario was trying to roll to the side and break that grip. He'd keep it blocked up high. He just couldn't. He'd get back up eventually and then, try to mix it up in the striking and bring pressure, and then he's taken down. Umar is just too much. Umar Nurmagomedov looked good. He looked really good. His wrestling was on point. He was reminding me of Merab out there wrestling so hard. Landed 11 takedowns. Okay, Merab Divalish Magomedov. Huh. he was still breathing so heavy after the fight. And that post-fight, he's like, you know, I'm very happy win. I don't know. It's a terrible fucking botch. Brother, smash everybody. I fight Marab for the belt. I, inshallah, promise take title to Abu Dhabi, Dagestan. I'm not good, Habib, but you know, still was panicking, man. You got shit on my breathing on stream. It sounded like that. Granted, I'm fucking just sitting here. So I guess more fair on Umar's side. But that being said, as heavy as he was breathing at the end, I've always said I think Umar is the guy to beat Merab. But I do have to say, back of my damn mind, a little bit of worry of he pushed that pace with Merab for 5. Pushed it here with Mario for 3. And I love the Merab rematch. I want to see it. I really, really want to see it. I think Umar can be a champion. I think he's really good. Find out about the gas tank. If he can take 3 out of 5, though, he still takes it home. He pushed a very heavy pace here, obviously, because he knew he was dealing with like Merab light in Mario Bautista. And he handled him. 11 takedowns on Mario Bautista. Say what you want. It's fucking impressive to me. And a lot of respect to Umar Nurmagomedov. Wow. Wow. I get it. He was a huge favorite. He was supposed to win. But like, to take down Bautista 11 times, I was impressed. I think he should be fighting for the title in his next fight. I like it. Next fight, co-main event. Virna Jandiroba, Mackenzie Dern. The right woman won the fight. I thought Dern had it 48-47, and 2 out of the 3 judges scored it the same way. Round number 1, Mackenzie Dern looked sharp, landed big punches. Jandiroba was like wrestling a bit, but the story of this card is you can't just hit takedowns and expect to win rounds without doing anything. Jandiroba, a little bit of a step behind round 1. Dern lands bigger shots, right? Cleaner punches. Has Jandiroba looking a little awkward on the feet. Round number 2, Jandiroba on point, landed some shots, mixing in some takedowns, having some moments. Close round 2, but I scored it for Jandiroba. I was like, okay. Jandiroba finding her flow. Jandiroba figuring it out. Round number 3, flip a coin. Could have gone either way. Thought maybe Jandiroba by a tad. Some big punches for her. Some big moments for her with the takedowns. But obviously Dern firing shots back, landing big head strikes. Both girls having moments in slugfest and exchanges. I thought could have went either way. Round number 4, Mackenzie Dern pulls it off in round 4. Jandiroba got taken down in round number 4 and was like holding from the bottom. And commentary was, oh, maybe she's saving it for round 5, but that was a fucking mistake. Close round that you then guaranteed to lose with Dern doing a little bit from top. And to be fair, every time Jandiroba takes Dern down, holy shit. The elbow game of Mackenzie Dern from bottom was insane. She's so squirmy and like crazy from bottom position. Really does a great job of making you uncomfortable when you're on top of her and landing nice elbows. Good work. She did damage from bottom in this fight. Round 5, you know, a little bit of a back and forth strike fest, slugging some shots. Jandiroba trying to wrestle a bit, but Dern just on point. Dern just had her. Dern just had her. You knew it till the end. You like, all right, Dern's got this woman. Putting a little bit on her, backing her up. Mackenzie Dern outworks her. She is the Virna Jandiroba kryptonite. And now Mackenzie Dern is the champion of the world. And the UFC is happy because they got a pretty girl as a UFC champion. Means a lot. It's very marketable. It sells well. Problem is, that division without Weili Zhang, I don't even know. I mean, Mackenzie Dern is now champion. Mackenzie Dern has a lot of rematches she could run through, right? Because Mackenzie Dern has lost to a lot of women that are still in that top 10. I mean, losses to Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos is currently ranked, I believe she's 6. Is she number 6? No, she's ranked number 4. Amanda Lemos, coming off the loss to Tatiana Suarez, ranked number 4. Okay. She also lost to Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade still ranked at number 9. And Andrade coming off the loss to the real up-and-coming Lupi Godinez. Obviously, Dern has a win over Godinez. So that, you know, doubtful to get that rematch. Lost to Yan Xiaonan in 2022, long time ago, majority decision. Lost to Marina Rodriguez, who's now retired. But Yan Xiaonan, still amongst the elites, ranked number 3. Coming off the loss to Virna Jandiroba last time. And then Tatiana Suarez is probably the top contender. Has the win last time against Amanda Lemos in a fucking terrible fight. It's kind of a snooze fest. A lot of control. And Lemos, 3rd round, did some damage. Lost to Weili Zhang, obviously. What the fuck? I guess it's got to be Tatiana Suarez, but that's 1 fight win streak. really not a good fight against Lemos. Like, on paper, okay, give it to her. But as far as the actuality of the fight, I don't love it. I will say this. For something fun, like Jillian Robertson, Lucindo winner, for something different for the title, kind of down with that. If Tabitha Ritchie can put some wins together, Tabitha Ritchie versus Mackenzie Dern, that sells. That sells big time. Tatiana Suarez could end up beating Mackenzie Dern. I will say, though, Suarez can't just sit on top. Damaging shots are going to be coming from Dern. I think Dern's got a chance to beat Suarez, and I think Dern-Suarez is probably the fight they make. Now, for Jandiroba, she's got to be heartbroken, man. Sent out, no title fight, or no title win. She's pushed back. She's not going to fight her protege and Lucindo. Of course, Lucindo is on a call for Mackenzie Dern to try to get, revenge for her mentor, I guess. I don't know, man. Jandiroba, Tabitha Ritchie. That's probably it. Amanda Hebas, too. Interesting that you have, like, the champion who it's like, I'm not sure she's the best in the world in the weight class, you know? The Whaley era here, the Dern era, for the attractiveness scale, it's through the roof. When we're talking about true fighting skill. Come on. But good win for Dern. Becomes a world champion. Obviously means a fucking ton to her. Father was there. Daughter was there. They're very happy. Brazil's got another champ as well, which, is a big deal. They were going to have one either way, but Dern, good face for a world champion. Good body, too. Let's get to the main event. Make sure you guys hit the like button. If you're new, subscribe. I almost want to just walk off and not talk this main event. But I will. Ciryl Gane and Tom Aspinall. I'll be honest with you, Ciryl Gane's striking looks sharp. Ciryl Gane finding some straight punches. Tom Aspinall mixing in some leg kicks. Winning some boxing exchanges with Aspinall and busting up Aspinall's nose. He's leaking blood. Aspinall fails a takedown at the, quarter or midway mark of round number 1. Tries to double, easily stuffed by Ciryl. He's having a hard time tracking Ciryl down. Did land a nice right hand on Ciryl and had some boxing moments as well that kind of knocked Ciryl off balance. It wasn't a complete blowout. It was competitive. Look at the strike stats. 30-27. It was a close fight. It was, going pretty well on both fronts, right? It was a fight that felt like it could really go either way. Terrible eye gouge, eye poke, whatever you want to call it. Look at that. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Deep into the eyes. Like pressing into the fucking lid. Surprised he didn't pop an eyeball out. I saw it a little earlier in the fight. Ciryl Gane went like this, and I had said something on the live stream about it, and it ends up ending the fight in a no contest in this way. What a disappointing way for the main event to end of a card that was pretty good to now just be it's a disappointing card. No cherry on top, barely any whipped cream. I don't know. It's like, all right, like when you get like that fucking light ice cream versus if you wanted like a proper sundae. That's how it tastes to me. This card, I was expecting a fucking delight. And I got a light. Unfortunate. I must say. Ciryl Gane looked freakishly jacked, bro. Ciryl Gane looked freakishly jacked. Ciryl Gane is in the best shape of his career, bar none. And people were talking about on his chest he had like staph, but I said that might be acne. And we were making jokes saying that on his stomach, it looked like maybe there was some subcutaneous injections. Can bring up the picture. I have it in here somewhere. You can see it here. You can see the chest. You see the chest on this one. Like, I don't think that was staph. I think those were pimples. Why is he getting acne? I don't know. His face looked wider. You guys are going to say I'm crazy. Am I reaching? HGH? Look at this real quick. Just look at this real quick. Do you see the little markings on the stomach? You see what I'm talking about? I'm not trying to make excuses for Aspinall. I'm just saying that Gane looked crazy good. All right, let me see something real quick. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know. I'm looking for if there's any sub-Q injection marks on skin. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching. Maybe it's just a little bit of bumps and shit, but definitely was interesting. Ciryl looked freakish. Looked jacked as hell and freaky, and he was looking real good against Tom, better than he's ever looked before against Tom Aspinall. Let me tell you. Now, I wanted to do some research, so I put the eye pokes, a few images of it that I had into Chat GPT. Most common would be the corneal abrasion, right? He could be a scratch on the surface of the eye. Now, the doctor said there was nothing there, so potentially could be like even a deeper cut on the eye wall. I don't know, but then they said that there'd be visible deformity, which isn't. Bleeding in front of the eye. We didn't see any blood. Blood was not pooling in the iris area. Now, it could just be the corneal abrasion, sensitivity, blurred vision, pain, heals within a few days. So it could just be that. Could just be that. Another thing could be blunt trauma causing swelling and orbital or paraorbital trauma. I don't know for sure, but it's not a puffy eyelid. Nah. So the one that I worry about big time is this: retinal or optic nerve damage. A poke that transmits enough pressure that can detach the nerve, or detach the nerve, or cause nerve trauma, can detach the retina, optic nerve, or the retina. Sudden vision loss, dark curtain effect, or flashes of light, permanent blindness if not treated immediately. The worry is that Tom Aspinall has some real optic nerve or retina damage. That's what I'm worried about, because there wasn't a pooling of blood. Visibly, you couldn't see it. So it's one of the two. It's either a corneal abrasion, which, you just couldn't see from, or it's something deeper, because that fucking poke, look how deep in the eyes that, bro, deep. And like, it went so deep. Tom Aspinall, I went to rewatch it because I'm like, did it actually claw him that bad? It went deep in his eyes, man. Now, it wasn't like it was in the open eye. No, it was on the top. But that pressure can pop some shit in there. Like, I feel like it could have separated something. I don't know. I'm worried that it could be something more serious. I hope not. But it's something that you can't visibly see. But when they check on it, it could potentially be a big deal. Now, let's just pray that's not the case. I don't know. Is there any updated info on Tom Aspinall right now? Let me look it up. Probably not. I don't know what the medical updates will be. We'll talk about it throughout the week. Fucking eye, man. Dug deep. Can't see. No, he didn't fake nothing. There's no update on the actual injury. I wish there was. I really wish there was. No, but nothing there. Nothing there. We shall find out what happens. I'll say this. In a perfect world, it's an abrasion. We can turn this thing around, get this boat moving again, and we can run this fight back in December and use UFC 323 to send off pay-per-views with a triple header of championship fights, and at the top of it, the heavyweight main event world title fight. I hope that's the case. I worry it could be something more serious. I hope not. I expect details in a day or so about what the injury is to Tom Aspinall. This really sucks, man. Heavyweight division is like jinxed right now. We're looking to have a real solidified heavyweight champ. Tom Aspinall, he regains the title, but he's never won the title. He won the interim belt and was promoted to champion. Ciryl Gane was looking sensational. Ciryl Gane was having moments. Obviously, Aspinall also catching him. But the fact that Gane was making it a close fight, we're like, oh, we're going to find out. Like, Aspinall's going to be pushed to that breaking point, and maybe he gets truly tested by Gane. And he was, at least for the first 4 minutes of the fight, he was tested by Ciryl Gane. I wish we could have seen more. A really dissatisfied ending to a card that had, a pretty good flow going. Not a great main card. Decent main card. The Murzakanov knockout was sick. The Volkov versus Almeida fight was terrible. It was fucking horrid. Feature fight, Umar and Mario. If you're a hardcore, obviously you like a competitive MMA fight like that. Coming event, it was all right. It was a decent women's fight. And then main event, was looking really good up until it finished. So, unfortunate end to a card that was highly anticipated. We're waiting for the heavyweight champ to get the belt around the waist in the cage and just put the John Jones era behind us, put the Ngannou era behind us. Let's focus on Tom Aspinall or even Ciryl Gane. Can't happen yet. Little bump in the road. What I'll tell you is this, though. On the betting side, expect the odds next time to be closer because those first 4 minutes, Ciryl Gane looked damn 50-50 with Tom Aspinall. Maybe even has a little bit of a lead. I expect the line for Aspinall to be not near minus 450, but instead along the lines of minus 200, minus 150, potentially even less than that. So definitely excited for the rebooking. The rematch now has some, high stakes because of the end. Ciryl Gane was fucking heartbroken that it ended like this. Obviously, he caused the injury and loses his chance to become a world champ. They have to rebook it, though. What else is cool is Alex Pereira said, I'm going to make the heavyweight division great again. So I think Alex Pereira is trying to put it out there like, yeah, I want to do this heavyweight thing. I think you have to do Aspinall Gane first. You can't just say, okay, well, we'll do Pereira Aspinall now. No, I want to see Gane versus Aspinall. I need to see Gane versus Aspinall. Now, of course, if Ciryl Gane for some reason can't fight, or if Aspinall for some reason can't fight, Alex Pereira being brought into heavyweight, I mean, Jesus, maybe John Jones wants to come back, fight him for the vacant heavyweight title. So shit could go sideways, left, right, up, down, and I don't even know. Hopefully, Tom Aspinall comes back from this without much issue in a short period of time. I'm just worried that unlucky Aspinall is forced on the sidelines, forced to vacate, and then this whole fucking division is a mess, which it normally is at heavyweight for whatever reason. Yeah, the fight was shaping up, though. Ciryl Gane was testing Aspinall. He was touching him, and Aspinall hit Gane with some hard shots. The Gane takedown defense hold up on that first attempt. Aspinall couldn't even get to the legs, really. Gane looked fast. Aspinall looked strong. I think we were really looking at a special heavyweight fight that was starting to unfold, and then Ciryl Gane with the fucking hands. Can we close the fucking hands? Worse than John Jones. Nah, it can't be worse than Jones, but still. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Terrible end to a card. Terrible end to a card that I was so excited for. You were so excited for. We were so excited for. And now we got, 2 okay Apex cards. But then UFC 322 is awesome. UFC 323 is amazing. And I'm pray with me, guys. MMA gods. Please let Tom Aspinall just have a light abrasion. Let it not be a detached retina or optic nerve damage. Please, MMA gods, can we get Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane, UFC 323 main event with a championship triple header to close out the year and end the pay-per-view era. At least for now. Please. Dana White, make it happen. I hope so. I'm praying so. I want to see them run it back. ASAP. I need to see the fight. It was shaping up to be a great heavyweight fight. And hopefully, sooner rather than later, they get it made. They get it put together. Fingers crossed tightly. We'll find out more details. Obviously, you guys know I'll be live Monday. We'll be chopping it up with, the updated info, full card picks for, next week's Vegas card coming tomorrow. So good things all together. I do want to talk about the picks. Say what you want about the decision, the savage dog lock hit with Volkov getting it done. Damage trumps all, and especially in Abu Dhabi. They ain't playing with no lay and pray. Main event, no contest. Nothing there. Lost here. Thought the Jandiroba would be tough matchup for Dern. She was, but not enough to win. Obviously had Umar. Did we all? Volkov win over Almeida, and then Murzakanov pick over Rakić, laying him out. They slept on him. Lost with Haqparast to Salkilld, won with Aliskerov to Park, won with Klein over Rębecki, won with Walker over Sutherland, won with the Nathaniel Wood pick flip to him yesterday during the weigh-in show, won with Hamdi, and then lost, obviously, with Maksum to Raposo, big upset, and Mizuki to Amorim. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-3, 6-3, 7-3, 8-3, 8-4, 8-4. 8-4 and 1 no contest on the card. Honestly, isn't bad. I wish it was 9-4. I wish it was undefeated. It will be, eventually. I got to tell you, Safe City Parlay was fucking money. Minus 153, Aliskerov and Nurmagomedov comes through with the Safe City Parlay. And then Aliskerov and Volkov at plus 285 comes through. Aliskerov, Aspinall, Volkov. Obviously, the Aspinall line gets pushed. Essentially, you just got lock and dog at plus 285 coming through again. And then Volkov, Nurmagomedov, Murzakanov, and Aliskerov at plus 761 for the OV parlay came through as well, which was pretty solid. So some of the beautiful parlays hit. And Safe City on the money I'm happy about. And obviously Lock City technically hit, but with the Aspinall fight getting voided, it's just Aliskerov winning, which you just had a money line on Aliskerov. is what it is. I hope to see them book it ASAP and we run it again. I hope you guys enjoyed the week's worth of content. Hope you guys enjoyed this recap show. I'll be bringing the heat with the full card picks for the Vegas card. We'll still be talking about this card for an extended period of time. I ain't over it. I got a lot to say about it throughout the week. I just want more info to come out, So tune into the live streams all week long, Monday through Saturday live streams and multiple a day. So keep it locked in. I love you guys. Smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on and listen, share the video. Send it to a friend. Let me know how disappointed you feel because I feel disappointed. I feel like this is just a disappointing card. Such an unfortunate end to something that had so much potential to be a beautiful fucking moment, and it ends in a no contest. I'm telling you, 323 could be one of the best cards, maybe ever, if they can rebook Aspinall Gane ASAP. Let's just hope that Aspinall's okay. That eye looked fucking terrible, though, so he might not be okay. It didn't look bloody or whatever, but the poke looked terrible. We'll find out with time. Drop a W in the comments if you got nothing to say, but feel free to cope, complain, cheer, jumping down with joy, celebrate the dog lock hitting. Some big parlays coming through in my Murzakanov call, looking fucking money against the grain. Yeah, do it in the comments, all right? I love you all. I see you all on the next one, and I'm going to go enjoy my night, all right? Good night, people. Peace out.